Caitlin Clark has just won the ESPY for Best WNBA Player.
What's up, everybody? It's Jax, and on the surface, this story looks simple. Caitlin Clark wins another major award, no surprise, right? Most channels are treating it that way, highlighting A'ja Wilson's emotional reaction, pushing a basic headline, star rookie outshines the vet. But if you're watching this, you already know, it's never that simple. You're here because you're a narrative analyst. You're here because you see what's really going on. This ESPY win wasn't just a fan vote for Caitlin Clark, it was a flashpoint in a deeper battle that's been building for months. Behind the cheers and the trophy is a growing divide between Clark and A'ja Wilson. And it's not just about basketball, it's about Nike's silence on A'ja's shoe deal, media bias that keeps one name in the headlines while the other keeps stacking wins, and a league that's quietly shaping its future around marketability, not merit. And when A'ja lost that award, after dominating the league again, it felt like the final straw. This wasn't just a snub, it was a message. And now the question is, how much longer can the league keep ignoring its own MVP before it breaks something it can't fix? Let's break this down, because what happened at the 2025 ESPYs wasn't just a simple fan vote. It was a statement about how the WNBA, the media, and even its biggest sponsors are shaping the league's future, and who gets left behind in the process. Caitlin Clark won Best WNBA Player for her 2024 rookie season, not her current campaign, and that award, it's 100% fan-voted, meaning this wasn't a decision by analysts, coaches, or even fellow players. This was the court of public opinion. Clark beat out Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier, and most notably, A'ja Wilson. And that's where it gets uncomfortable, because if we're talking strictly basketball, pure, undeniable dominance, 2024 wasn't Clark's year, it was A'ja's. She didn't just win MVP, she won it unanimously. That's only happened one other time in WNBA history. Every single voter agreed she was the best. She put up 1,021 points, grabbed 451 rebounds, swatted 98 shots, and led the Aces to another dominant season. That's not just MVP-level play, that's legacy-defining. But she still lost to a rookie. Why? Because Clark was the headline, she was the viral clip, the sold-out arena, the brand magnet. And that's the heart of it. This wasn't about basketball performance. It was about visibility, about profitability. Clark is a cultural juggernaut. She's already got Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and an entire media machine behind her. Meanwhile, A'ja, despite carrying the league for years, continues to be treated like a supporting character in her own story. This ESPY moment, it wasn't an isolated slight. It was the latest chapter in a pattern of sidelining black women who dominate the game, only to see the spotlight shift the moment someone more marketable comes along. So when fans ask why A'ja might be frustrated, or why she seems exhausted in interviews, it's not bitterness, it's burnout. She's not just competing on the court, she's fighting to be seen in a league she helped build. Her stats, absolutely unreal. 1,021 points, 451 rebounds, 98 blocks. That's not just production, that's pure, unfiltered dominance. A'ja Wilson didn't just lead, she towered over the competition. She had the stats, she had the rings, and most importantly, she had the respect of every player who actually knows the game. But somehow, she lost the fan vote to a rookie. Let that sink in. This wasn't just a trophy, it was a reflection of who gets seen, who gets heard, and who gets valued. Because while Caitlin Clark was rewriting rookie records and lighting up the media cycle, A'ja Wilson was building a Hall of Fame legacy in real time, and still felt like she was being pushed to the margins. And that leads us straight to the second layer of this story, the one that makes things even more uncomfortable: Nike. There are strong reports, confirmed by A'ja Wilson herself, that she had known about her signature Nike deal for 2 full years before it was ever officially announced. Let that sink in. 2 years. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's Nike deal, that went public immediately. Press releases, headlines, full-blown national coverage. So now picture this, a veteran, a 2-time MVP, quietly holding the biggest deal of her career, while the newcomer gets the spotlight first. That doesn't just feel like favoritism, it feels strategic.
She beat out A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Napheesa Collier.
Like a branding decision made behind closed doors. A message being sent about who the face of the league is supposed to be. So when people brush off Wilson's frustration about the ESPYs, like it's just about one award, they're missing the point. This isn't about a trophy, it's about years of being the best, and still feeling like you're a second thought, even when you're on top. Now let's talk about A'ja's public comments, because the media twisted them into something they were never meant to be. That moment when she talked about playing in Indiana, saying she has to stay alert, waiting for something to pop off. That wasn't weakness. That was exhaustion. It wasn't a complaint, it was a confession. A'ja Wilson isn't just battling teams on the court, she's battling narratives off it. The villain label, the constant comparisons, the way the media subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, casts her as the anti-Clark. And yeah, she's been blocking people on social media. Some call it sensitive, but others, they see it for what it is, self-defense. Imagine carrying the league on your back for years, becoming the face of excellence, and the moment you show even a glimpse of frustration, you're labeled bitter, not celebrated, not protected, just picked apart. And just when it felt like things couldn't get more twisted, the media stepped in and did what it does best, pour gasoline on the fire. You've seen the viral clip making the rounds, A'ja Wilson in tears over Caitlin Clark's ESPY win. That headline, completely fabricated. There is zero credible source confirming she cried. Not one. It's clickbait, manufactured to stir outrage. And that so-called analyst people claimed was bashing Caitlin Clark, calling her overrated. They couldn't even get her name right. It wasn't Andre Carter, it was Andrea Carter. And her real takes, they were nuanced, thoughtful, even supportive of Clark's impact on the game. But let's be honest, none of that goes viral, because drama sells, and fake drama sells faster. Especially when it pits two powerful women against each other in a battle the media wants more than the players ever did.
The whole pettiness around Caitlin Clark, so you agree with him that people are just...
Listen, everybody, there's envious jealousy, there's professional jealousy. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are professional jealousy. I am. I'm professional jealousy of a lot of people. I'm professional jealousy of Steph, make 60 million, but hey, that's life. So you gotta also understand that we're not just gonna give it to you because everybody else is giving it to you. You still gotta earn it. Chuck had to go through that. I had to go through that. So I understand what everybody's doing. Like, yeah, you're great, but you ain't that great yet. Calm down. We still got Diana Taurasi. We still got A'ja Wilson. So if y'all gonna give her props, make sure our girls that are dominating this league get the same props. That's what everybody's talking about.
But let's be clear, this isn't truly Caitlin Clark versus A'ja Wilson. That's just the surface. What we're really witnessing is the WNBA in the middle of an identity crisis. Do they build their empire around a single breakout star, or do they honor the veterans who laid the foundation? Right now, every signal from the league, from Nike to ESPN to the official WNBA marketing machine, is pointing in one direction, Caitlin Clark. And it's hard to argue with the numbers. She's drawing record-breaking viewership, selling out arenas nationwide, and pushing the league into headlines it's never touched before. But here's the cost. You risk alienating the legends. You make MVPs feel like second-tier stars. You create resentment, real resentment, that leaks into the locker room, press conferences, and timelines. The ESPY snub, the delayed Nike rollout, those weren't the disease. They're symptoms. Symptoms of a league that's trying to evolve, but might be forgetting the very women who carried it through its toughest years.
This is from a New York Times story about A'ja Wilson and a signature shoe that came out last week. And it says, this is a study in racism and fame and how they can't, for some reason. A'ja Wilson's this 6'4" basketball player for the Las Vegas Aces. She's won the MVP in the WNBA 2 or 3 times. She's won a championship or 2 in the WNBA. They're pretending as if she's LeBron James or Michael Jordan at WNBA, and that the reason why it's taken so long for her to get a signature shoe and her shoe won't sell is because of racism. It's insanity. It's this affirmation of the delusion and the insanity of black women. But Nike has this gift in Caitlin Clark. Women's basketball, this gift in Caitlin Clark. And they won't tap into it. The most popular athlete in America right now, the most popular women's basketball player in the history of America, and they won't give her a shoe because we got to give A'ja Wilson one first. And it's cost their former CEO their job. And so I'm quoting from the New York Times. Mr. Powell, the analyst, said Nike's recent struggles as a business and its overhaul last year were instructive as well. With Nike's stock price falling and cultural relevance slipping, its board announced the abrupt retirement of chief executive John Donahue in September and said Elliott Hill would replace him. Mr. Hill had spent 32 years with the company before retiring in 2020. I think we would have seen the Caitlyn shoe a lot faster if Elliott had been at the helm, Mr. Powell said. His predecessor just did not appreciate product and the value of endorsement. No, that's not what happened at Nike. That's not why they haven't released a Caitlyn Clark shoe. They haven't released it because they've installed a bunch of female executives and middle management people within Nike. They've installed a bunch of diversity hires within Nike who all pander to the delusion of black women.
To get better, we have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
So now I turn it over to you. Is this just the messy, uncomfortable reality of marketing in modern sports, a rookie naturally outshining a vet because he off timing and hype? Or is it something deeper, a structural failure by Nike, the media, and the WNBA itself to protect and uplift its foundational stars? Did A'ja Wilson truly get disrespected, or is this just the price of progress in a league trying to go mainstream? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm watching them all. And if you want to see the real story behind the headlines, the stuff the sports shows won't tell you, make sure you're subscribed. Turn on that bell, because next week, we're breaking down the Nike shoe launch for both Clark and Wilson, and what it means for the future of the league. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, we don't follow narratives, we analyze them.